Hello, welcome to Unboxed God, where we detox from religion and discover the God who refuses to fit inside the boxes we were given. I'm Tolu Sarah Johnson, and here we explore who God really is, beyond fear, beyond formulas, and beyond everything we were taught to perform. If you are hungry for a real relationship with Him, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. So still on the book, we're getting to the end of it. It's been a long book, isn't it? This is chapter 18. But thank you for following me up until this stage. I really appreciate your support, that you keep watching what I'm currently writing on out of love for Papa. So chapter 18, the Father's message. Still, I keep loving. Coming out of chapter 17, from consumers to lovers, the Father now unveils the deepest truth in his heart. No matter how humanity treats him, still, he keeps loving. No disappointment can exhaust his grace. No failure can deplete his compassion. No rebellion can cancel his affection. This chapter is the beating heart of God's mercy, exposing the unthinkable tenderness of a Father whose love never withdraws, never retaliates, never grows cold. Wow. His love is not a reaction, it is his nature. He said it so many times, Tolu. It is in my DNA to love. That's my nature. And the Father and Jesus emphasize their love is not end. It is not maintained. It is not fragile. It flows eternally because it is who they are. Love is his essence. The essence of the Father is love, not anger, not wrath like religion projected, not perfectionistic standards. His love is steadfast, unwavering, incapable of failing. Forgiveness is endless. God has a boundless capacity to forgive, infinitely and repeatedly. There's no limit to how many times mercy will rise again. I asked him a question. I said, Papa, is there a limit to your love? He said, Tolu, there's no limit to my love. If there was a limit to my love, I would have stopped loving Matthew a long time ago. Do you know how many times he has had to sleep with prostitutes? But I love him so much. So there's no limit. But that doesn't mean you should take advantage of it. He lost those who reject him. Yes, he said it so many times. He said, Tolu, I love the atheists, the ones that don't even think I exist, the ones that challenge me. And most importantly, he lost all of his children irrespective of their religion. Muslim, Hindus, witches, satanists, murderers, abusers, and terrorists, and so on. Not because their deeds are right, but because his heart is love. He says, you only need to be human to qualify for my grace. And God draws closer when we sin. Shocking, but true. I love my children even when they are sin, because that is when they need me most. He leans into their kindness, into their shame, into their addiction, into their moral failures, not away from them. God covers humanity. When he looks at people, he sees the Lamb of God, the sacrifice of Jesus covering them. Grace is unmerited, undeserved, overflowing favor, always active, always available. This is his mercy. Unhand, unbroken, unstoppable. So he is not distant. He is not passive. He is the Father who chases wounded children until they are saved. God is not hidden, humans are. God is not absent, pain blinds us. God is not silent, our fear mutes him. Yet through it all, Papa never stops pursuing. He's always near to the brokenhearted. He suffers with his children. Every tear, every betrayal, every trauma. When we are hurting, God is not far. He bends closer. He never gives up. He pursues you relentlessly, refusing to leave a single child stranded in darkness. He pursued me for 24 years in religion, and I'm grateful for him. He speaks in creative ways. God communicates through contemporary songs, which I never knew before because I didn't used to listen to contemporary songs because I felt it's a sin. But God said, I communicate through them. He communicates through movies, through whispers, through feelings, through unexpected strangers, through podcasts. Many love songs are actually God singing to his wounded children. And Jesus experienced every human struggle, rejection, abandonment, betrayal, loneliness. So he sees not just the sin, but the wound that fertilized it. And I've asked Papa before that, how do you feel the pain of human beings? That when my son was here on earth, I walked with him. I walked through all of the pain together. I participated, I shared in his suffering. So he understands our trauma. He understands our pain. The prodigal father still runs. When someone returns, God does not hesitate. He runs towards them with joy, not shame. The deconstruct are not disowned. Yes, those who left church, rejected religion, or lost faith are still relentlessly loved. He knows they are often fleeing wounds, not him. And the father pursues because his heart cannot accept losing a single child. So, justice was satisfied at the cross. Therefore, mercy is now God's default posture. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Papa clarifies that he is both just and merciful, but justice has already been fulfilled in Jesus. Justice already happened. The cross satisfied judgment completely. Jesus absorbed every drop of wrath. Therefore, God now leans fully towards mercy. He says, I do not take pleasure in punishing people. His heart bends towards pity, compassion, and restoration. Discipline is love. It's not anger. Correction is never punishment. It is his kindness with his scalpel, surgical, not abusive. So, even though consequences are messy, sometimes God lets people face consequences so the pain can lead them back to life. So it's not God showing he hates us. And internal punishment is a distortion. Eternal punishment is a distortion. The Father insists, the belief that I'm eager to punish or banish people from heaven is one of the greatest lies about my character. Even those in hell are still loved. His love does not cease at death. He keeps loving. And false teaching has misrepresented him. And the Father grieves. Our religion made him seem angry, hostile, perfectionistic, legalistic, harsh. But nothing could be further from the truth. Human love withdraws to heal itself. God loves moves towards the wound. Yeah, if I've tried my best over someone, I move back. And I think maybe because we think like human betrayal, we always think maybe that's how God behaves. Human patience ends when trust is violated. God's patience continues past the 1,000th failure. Human heart protects themselves. God's heart exposes itself again and again without fear. It says, your choices can wound me, but nothing you do can make me abandon you. This is the scandal of his mercy. Never once in all of human history has he stopped loving. So, mercy through every season of the soul. God is there holding us through every season. Sin, apathy, rebellion, suffering. In every stage of our life, His mercy stays. When you sin, He leans closer. When you drift, He waits patiently. When you choose idols, He suffers silently. When you accuse Him, He comforts. When consequences come, He disciplines gently. When you return, He celebrates loudly. Mercy is not optional. Mercy is covenant. I want you to imagine this analogy. When a person sins, drifts, rebels, actually, let me start again. I want you to imagine the Father's mercy as an endless ocean stretching beyond the horizon. When a person sins, drifts, rebels, or hides in shame, they don't leave the ocean. The ocean surrounds them still. What happens instead is this. They scoop up buckets of debt, shame, guilt, fear, religious rules, self-hatred, and cover themselves with it, thinking the ocean has withdrawn. But the ocean never recedes. It doesn't turn bitter. It doesn't evaporate. It doesn't judge. It waits. And the moment the person steps back into the water, whether as a prodigal, a doubter, a sinner, or a hypocrite, the ocean washes every grain of dirt away instantly. No effort, no striving, no price, just love. So the Father says as we close, you were never out of my sight, never out of my love, never out of my reach. Still, I keep loving. God bless.